Abolish ICE, yes or no? Where are you on this?
Well, I think we should look at reforms to ICE as part of reforms to our overall immigration system. But let's be clear, the problem right now is the way the Trump administration is using ICE and the Trump administration policies. We can have secure borders and we can have a humane immigration policy. And the Trump administration is obviously not focused on the latter. They were separating families with kids. They're not reuniting these families fast enough. So my view is we can have border security, and we need to make sure ICE focuses appropriately on that mission and not be deployed to breaking up families and other policies that this administration has been focused on.
So in sort of listening to your answer there, Senator, clearly you're not over the line on ICE. Some Democrats want their leadership to be. Do you think it is in your role in the DSCC, is it a smart strategy for Democrats to campaign to message on abolishing ICE?
Look, I think this whole issue that's risen because of the separation of kids from their parents at the border has gone beyond politics, right? I mean, you've seen everybody in the religious community speaking out strongly against it. I think if you talk to Democrats, they'll say what I just tried to really emphasize, that we should have border security, of course. We need to make sure that dangerous people don't get across the border. But moms coming with their kids seeking asylum should not be separated, and they should not be locked up indefinitely. And so it's the way the Trump administration is using the Department of Homeland Security that we need to really focus on as we look for longer-term reforms to ICE and immigration laws generally.
So as you point at the Trump administration, Senator, do you share some of your colleagues' opinions that Secretary Nielsen should step down from leadership of DHS?
You know, Hallie, if I thought that having her step down would actually make a difference in terms of our immigration policies, I would do it in a second. The problem is at the very top. I mean, we all remember Donald Trump coming down the escalators, Trump Towers, talking about, you know, in general terms, Mexicans being rapists and murderers and all these things. And what he is doing is unleashing this kind of hatred that has now essentially resulted in this division of moms from their daughters. I was at the border on Father's Day talking to moms who've been separated.
You went and saw one of these facilities, or tried to at least. You said at the time, I think, that you believe the administration, when it comes to asylum claims, was trying to slow walk asylum claims. Based on what the president has tweeted today, over the weekend, leading some critics to wonder if he's drawing the distinction between asylum seekers and those crossing the border illegally for other reasons. Do you believe this administration believes in the concept of asylum? What can Democrats do to have those conversations with those inside the Trump administration?
Well, based on the president's tweets, he clearly doesn't believe in asylum. And this country has a long tradition and has been a leader when it comes to making sure that people who are fleeing persecution, fleeing violence, have an opportunity to have their cases heard and settle in the United States. And we should keep families together during that process. No, when the president says that he's going to turn everybody who is crossing the border back across the border, regardless of whether they're smuggling drugs or a mom with their daughter or son fleeing violence, is totally outrageous. And that is what this administration's done. It's essentially said we're not going to deploy our resources just against MS-13, not just against MS-13, which we should, but we're going to go after moms with kids. And that's why you see this uproar around the country.
Senator, very, very quickly before I let you go, one of your former House colleagues, Maxine Waters, as we talked about, is calling on some to harass basically Trump administration officials in public because of these moral convictions. Do you think that's the right move for your party? Would you recommend the same thing?
No, I don't think people should be harassed. But as a public official, I can tell you when I go out to eat at a restaurant, people come up to me and share their opinions. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a difference between strongly sharing opinions and being harassed. However, I do want to emphasize that we're in a democracy here. These are really important issues to our country. People have the right to express themselves. When I go out to dinner, I hear about all sorts of issues from my constituents. And so people have the right to express their views.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.